Welcome to Talk Theory. It's your host, Kiara Barnes, where I talk all things life, what makes us human, and what makes us superhuman. Sit back, relax, and join me for a chat. Hello. Oh my gosh, that was an abrupt cut. Jeez. Welcome to another episode of Talk Theory. Glad to have you guys. It is I, your host, Kiara Barnes. And today we are embarking on a little exploration, if you will, that bridges cultures and disciplines. What this is, you might ask, is the mind-body connection from both Eastern and Western perspectives. Okay, so we're going to kind of delve into some of these transformative practices of yoga and meditation. Talk a little about journaling. You guys know I love my journal. And then just comparing them with Western psychological approaches and uncovering how these practices really impact our mental and physical well-being. So if you listened to, I think it was last week's episode, or maybe, I can't remember. Either way, if you've been listening, you know I'm on a little educational kick right now. I don't know, I've been craving information and I don't know what robot voice that is. It's fine. We're going to keep it going. I've been having fun with a lot of things, really, but just Google, putting in that research time, and you just forget there's so much information available literally at our fingertips. I just, sometimes it hits me every once in a while. I'm like, oh yeah, what's going on in that subject? And then just get on Google, check your sources. But so, and you guys already know, I'm really into health and wellness. That's what this podcast is mostly about. And so, it makes sense. If you're an avid listener, you already know I'm very into spirituality, and a lot of spirituality has to do with the body and movement and sound and your breath. And of course, yoga is all intertwined in all of that. I've actually, truthfully, I want to manifest this. I really want to get my yoga's teacher certificate. I've been a student of yoga for many, 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 many years. And I just really would love to understand more of the science behind it. With just in regards of the body and how we can use that to initiate healing. And, I've led little yoga sessions for a friend or friends of mine, and, meditations and things like that. But I want to get into the practice, the study of it. And I just always feel much more confident leading something when I've kind of searched further into the crevices of things. And that way, if people have questions or want to know further, I can answer it. And I don't have to be let me get back to you. So that's been something that's been on my mind. I really want to do. So let's put that good juju energy out there. So, right. I am looking forward to today's episode, as you can tell. So let's get into it. To understand the mind-body connection, we must first turn our attention to the Eastern practices that have nurtured this relationship for centuries. Yoga and meditation rooted in traditions like Hinduism and Buddhism offer a lot of profound insights into just creating this harmony between the mind and body. And, yoga isn't just about striking poses, right? It's like this holistic practice that it really combines, the physical postures with breath control and also meditation. It aims to create this whole sense of balance and alignment and inner peace. But then meditation, specifically on its own, on the other hand, focuses on cultivating mindfulness and awareness and leading to deeper connection with oneself and the world. And if you've ever done yoga as well, just to like go back to that, because I feel like meditation can be in a lot of different things. It can be when you're painting or writing or even playing video games, working out. It can be wherever you feel the most peace and where your brain is just going, it's like a breather moment and a relaxer. So meditation for me, it can be in so many different things. And so, if you've ever done yoga or have practiced it regularly, you already know, even on the days when you don't want to show up on the mat or even during a practice where you're struggling to keep balance, one, it's usually a really, really good mirror to show you just where you've been focusing attention, but also you're having this whole major moment of release in a lot of ways. I've cried, during yoga. I've laughed. You have to remember that there's so much energy that courses through us day in and day out. And if we aren't stretching out our body or moving it, that energy can get all pinned up and stored into spaces and just really manifest into illness. It can manifest into injuries. And so you quite literally have energy from years or of trauma or whatever old energy just stuck in your body. So, it's actually I'm going to say, I feel like the most popular space where people usually feel this release is probably in the hips. And it's totally normal to have overwhelm come up emotionally. Obviously, do not be forcing yourself into poses, but it's more so about how you're feeling and what you're thinking as you're going through these poses and letting things go and allowing breath to expand you deeper and things like that. It's meditation happening through movement. Now, as we cross over a little bit, skip over to the Western side of our exploration, we encounter the whole psychological approach. So this recognizes, of course, mind-body connection, but there's more psychosomatic theories. For instance, emphasizing how emotional states can manifest as physical symptoms. And also, we know with Western medicine, it's more based in diagnosis and medication to subside symptoms and all that, right? Meanwhile, at the same time, mindfulness-based therapies draw from the Eastern practices, integrating mindfulness meditation into Western therapeutic contexts. So let me just say, there is no shame in doing either of these techniques. I've needed medication to support me and, therapy where I'm talking it out at the same time in my life. And other times I did much better without medication and, had more, release in a spiritual practice. And it's really all dependent on you and your life and where you're at. And sometimes, you can mix all of these things. You just have to do what's best for you. Okay, science hat, putting it on for a sec. Neuroplasticity research further underscores the interplay between mental states and physical health. Okay, so we now know that our thoughts and emotions can totally shape the structure and actual function of our brains. And you all know how I've been talking about it this whole time, but I'm a huge fan for meditation. I meditate every single day. And if I don't, it's really, really rare. But also, I just know right away. And other people probably know, I'm a little more irritable. Processing rate is slower. I'm just a little all over, truthfully. And I can feel it in my body. It's crazy and also amazing to see just even the difference in my entire body when I give it time to just breathe and relax. My shoulders and back is less tense. It's just giving yourself that extra bit of space. Okay. So now that we've kind of laid a little foundation, let's kind of explore these practices and the impact on our well-being. Both Eastern practices and Western approaches, they offer tools for stress reduction, emotional regulation, and overall wellness. Okay, so yoga and meditation have been shown to lower cortisol levels, improve heart health, enhance immune function. They provide a space to cultivate self-awareness, manage anxiety, and then, foster a little resilience, a little more patience. And in the West, therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, aka CBT, incorporate mindfulness techniques to alleviate depression and anxiety. And some of these techniques include just like setting achievable goals, practicing cognitive restructuring, journaling, and undergoing situation exposure. And I'll be honest, I didn't know a lot about CBT before this. So I'm still learning. So if you're interested in that, I'd recommend a Google search. A lot of informative stuff to be found on the subject that could, be a benefit for sure. I thought the most intriguing thing was like situation exposure. That makes me nervous, but I guess for some people it works in some way. Now it was like as we bridge this gap between East and West, it becomes evident that despite the cultural methodological differences, there's common ground in their shared goal of holistic well-being, right? Both systems emphasize the importance of self-awareness, balance, and the cultivation of a positive mind-body relationship. So while yoga and meditation are, a kind of practice and causes a lot of experience, Western psychology provides frameworks and more empirical research, I guess, that complement just more ancient traditions. I mean, both have their history, but the mind-body connection unites these disciplines in their pursuit of enhanced living. And so now the question arises, how can we integrate these practices into our modern and busy lives? Here's the thing, whether you're drawn to yoga and meditation, or maybe you only resonate with Western therapeutic approaches, it really just comes down to consistency and intention. Creating some kind of daily ritual, even if it's just a few moments of mindfulness meditation, can make a significant difference in how you go about your life. And also just where you're putting your energy. What are you thinking? What are your most common phrases being played over and over in your head when you're doing things. Because these practices can help us cultivate resilience and, of course, foster some kind of emotional intelligence, um, and overall just enhance a lot of things about our life. But I think, it does matter at the end of the day if you're being intentional about, I don't know, about the exploration of this. Because you can just like easily, I've done it before, turned on a yoga thing and like I've like had, the summer I turned pretty or whatever playing next to it, and I have the yoga thing on mute, but I'm just going through the movements. You can go through the movements and not have any meaning behind them, or you could be doing that exposure therapy or whatever, right? And if you don't have some kind of set intention to be feeling something, you're not going to be feeling something, which is probably why in most yoga classes, it starts off with like deep breaths and a moment of quiet, and either they give you a prompt or they ask for you to find an intention to get through the class. So, it definitely means something to, I don't know, have some kind of knowing of direction. Okay. As we come to an end of today's episode, let's reflect on just the balance, both of these perspectives offer a holistic approach to the well-being and of our lives, and one that just kind of honors complexities of our minds and bodies. We're all different. We're all very layered is a good word. So, all of this, our journey towards self-awareness and health is always going to be ongoing, right? And, as we navigate the paths of, east and west, we just need to remember that the mind and body are beautifully intertwined and guiding us to a life of harmony and hopefully authenticity. There's really just no right way to do something. You have to try things out, find what works best for you, and also not be afraid to mix and match. Like I said earlier, like some points in my life, it does help to have a therapist and have someone to talk things out with. And sometimes in my life, I want to do more introspection where I'm asking myself these questions and I'm reading the books and I'm practicing and, being very with me. Or sometimes, you mix and it just depends. So it's okay also to just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Sometimes you can take a little bit of something from, the East, take a little something from the West and see what works. Okay. Thank you for joining me on this little exploration of the mind-body connection. The theory of the week is your mind and body are partners on this journey. When the two forces work together, there's much more possibility for growth and transformation. Cute. That's cute. Okay, well, there you have it, lovely listeners. That's another episode for the books. If you enjoyed our chat today, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button. Okay, I see you guys, the followers on the Spotify and on the Apple Podcast are growing, and it's lovely. It really is. New episodes every Monday. If you're feeling extra generous, a little review goes a long way, okay? Sharing your little favorite episodes with friends and coworkers or family. It means a lot, guys, and it's so helpful. And if you'd like to say hello, follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, girl. Okay, I'm on Instagram at Kiara Barnes Official. You can also just type in my name, Kiara Barnes. I'll pop up. And yeah, of course, you'll find my other social media content on there if you want to follow me on the old TikTok or something like that. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I shall see you next week. Okay, love you. Bye.